Hey guys, it's Laura and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm back in The Sims 4 and I am renovating, or I should say rebuilding, the 131321 Cheek Street apartment. And this is probably one of my favourite apartments, mostly because the wall height is so perfect. Like, what is it with apartments in The Sims 4 and those ridiculously high ceilings? Like, I mean, I guess that's kind of realistic, but it's so hard to furnish and it's so hard to build with, and oh, what, like the doors are horrible, and oh, just no. I really struggle with building apartments in The Sims 4, and so I've started with like the ones I can just about deal with. So I recently did the Salim Banali apartment, and I have also done the 2B Jasmine Suite, and today, like I said, we are 131321 Chic Street. Now, I'm sorry, but how cool is Chic Street? Like, I want to live in Chic Street. I mean, my address is so boring. Like, honestly, it's so dull. So I wish I had something a little bit more zazzy, you know, but anyway. So my idea behind this build is that I actually built Sims for this build, but basically it's a single mum and her toddler who is a little boy. Basically my idea behind it was that she is a single mother, and I'm guessing maybe she's like a teen mum, and now she's gotten a little bit older and she is sort of maybe studying, or maybe she is, I don't know if you guys have ever seen Forrest Gump, but I kind of feel like she's in the same place of life as Jenny is at the end of that film. I'm not going to spoil it too much, but basically, yeah, like if you can imagine, she's like had her partying days, she's had her son, she has like finally calmed down, and now she's trying to like just make the best life for her and her kid. So that's basically what I had, or like the idea I had for this build, and I think it turned out really nicely in the end. Like at first I was like, well, do I make it really like old, not old, do I make it like really run down and like poor? And I was like, well, no, like I want her to be happy where she is in life. And yes, things are a bit mismatched and not everything is the same wood tone, but that's kind of life, isn't it, you know? Like when you're just starting out, nothing matches. So I moved out officially into my first home with my boyfriend. It'll be like 16 months ago maybe. Like we moved December 2019. And we've actually moved twice since then. But anyway, when we moved, we had literally nothing. Like we had a bed and we had like some stuff. We had a TV, we had like some furniture, like bedside cabinets and wardrobes and stuff, but we didn't really have enough to furnish an entire flat. And I don't know if you guys have been in the same position as me, but like we got so many hand-me-downs from our friends and family. Like our best friends gave us a rug, my boyfriend's parents gave us their sofas, my parents gave us like a load of kitchen stuff, like plates and baking trays, and like his nan, who we lived with before, she gave us like so much stuff, like towels and just things that like you never realize you're gonna need. So I feel like in this build, like this sim that lives here with her son is in the same kind of position. She's just got like loads of hand-me-downs and stuff she's collected over the years, and this is like maybe not her forever home, but for the time being she's happy and she's making the best out of the situation. And I just think it's really cool. It's a cool story to play with if you're into sort of gameplay and storytelling and all that kind of fun stuff. So yeah, that's basically the vibe I was going for, and you'll have to let me know in the comments down below how you think I did. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. So at the moment we're in the kitchen, and I was going to use the like old sort of grotty furniture, but I thought no, I'm going to give her modern-ish furniture, like the sort of stuff that you probably would find in an apartment like this. And I just like cluttered up all of the sides, and I recently shared a video where I was showing a sort of mini tutorial on how to better clutter your houses, and the video for that actually came from this build, so I will talk about that a little bit later when we get to it. I'm just doing the bathroom at the moment, and I like the idea of really going through the debug menu and pulling out all the little bits and pieces that you don't generally get in the normal catalogue. So I found this toothbrush, and I felt like it was kind of expressing the fact that maybe the kid is learning to brush his teeth, and he's just a bit messy, and the mum's a bit messy maybe, and they just like sort of don't put things back 110% of the time. Like, if you guys have toddlers or have friends that have toddlers, like, you'll know they're the most messiest things in the world. So, I mean, I haven't got any kids, but I've got friends that have kids, and toddlers are a real treat. Putting it nicely. But I also put a sponge and a rubber duck by the bathtub, just so it's reminiscent of the fact that a kid lives here. And I also, this is actually really funny, but I put down the toddler potty, obviously for the toddler, and I knew that in the debug menu there was like diapers, but of course in the UK they're called nappies. So I went to the menu and I started typing in nappies, and I was like, why is nothing coming up? Like, I swear that they've got them in this game. And then I realised, oh, the game is American, it's diapers. So I found them. But stuff like that always really confuses me. Like, I'm like double sure that there's a certain item in the game, but I have to remember that it's probably listed as the American term rather than the British term, so that's annoying. Let me know below in the comments if you guys have anything like that you sort of forget is not native to your own language, and you have to sort of double check. But now we are in the main bedroom, and I kind of wanted to reflect that this sim is quite sort of maybe healthy now. Maybe she's not always been really healthy, but now she's definitely more conscious of keeping fit and doing like yoga. So I wanted to include some sort of healthy lifestyle decoration objects, and I gave her this little sort of office area so that maybe she's doing like night courses or she's attending university on the side, and she has somewhere that she could like log on and do her homework and that sort of stuff. I felt like she might not necessarily have the money to invest in like a proper PC, so a laptop was just like cheaper alternative and just a lot more realistic for a single mum to have. And I'm just cluttering up the table with some more sort of bits and pieces to make it feel a bit more lived in. I also put in this room a yoga mat, which is by the window, and because this apartment has like a really amazing view of the city, I felt like that was the best place to be doing yoga. And I mean, I would love to have a view like this when I'm doing yoga. I mean, not that I do yoga very much, because like, you know, the last time I tried yoga, I pulled something in my shoulder and I had to ring one of my physio friends and be like, I am getting sharp pains down the side of my arm and I can't really feel my fingers. What's happening? Am I dying? It was so embarrassing. Anyway, yeah, so I figured the sim was probably a lot more fitter than I am. Let's just say it that way. But I did sort of have the idea that maybe she was more healthier than the average young lady, and I think that's probably because she has a kid and she wants to stick around for this kid as long as she can. And maybe it's just like her and her child, maybe something has happened with her family, she's no longer speaking with them. So that's just a storyline I had in my head. And now we're moving on to the toddler bedroom, and this is like the cutest room. I cluttered it up with loads of toys and I made it feel like he's a bit of a spoiled little boy, but he's really well behaved and like super sweet. So I felt like, well, he just needed to have loads of little toys and gadgets and stuff like that. So he's got builder's blocks in here for skill building, and there's like a bunch of toys, a couple of which I actually pulled out of the Journey to Batu set. So you'll see me just placing those right there, which I always forget that they're in the game, but they're so cute. Like, I have no idea about Star Wars, and I have talked about this this in a previous video, like that whole pack is very controversial in my opinion, but those little, like, are they Chewbacca or something? I don't know, but it's like so cute. And the little, is it a Wookiee? I really don't know, but they're adorable, so I had to put those down. And then I put a toy box and a cute little rug which is in the shape of the frog. I originally was gonna go for the, I think it's the base game one with like the 4 print animals on it, but I felt like it just didn't really mix very well, and I wanted it to be a really fun room and like a really cute kind of animal critter, like typical little boy who wants to play around in the dirt kind of vibe. So I did go with the big green playful rug there in the shape of a frog, and that's pretty much it for this bedroom. Now we're back in the living room and I'm just cluttering things up. I found this pack, I think they're like antibacterial wipes, at least that's what I'm gonna pretend they are. And I feel like in today's society that's so clever to have those, like, because everyone's got antibacterial wipes, haven't they? So yeah, I put those down, as well as a couple of toys and the squid octopus crochet from Nifty Knitting. Now we're back in the kitchen and here I am cluttering up the first cabinet next to the oven, and this is actually what I made, or what I based my recent sort of short video on. And basically it's just a very quick couple of tips on how to better clutter your kitchens. So if you're using the Move Objects On cheat, you can basically place all the objects you want, and holding Alt you can drag them to any kind of surface. And I mean, I'm not explaining myself very well, but basically if you move out of a surface you want to put them on, you can use the Alt key and you can hold and drag the objects onto the surface, and you can clutter up the surface and make it look a bit more realistic, lived in. And I was really going for like she's in the middle of making dinner sort of vibe. So there's like a chopping board with some vegetables. I do get rid of the meat and instead replace it with like some, I think it's basil, but it's one of the herbs, and I put some garlic on there as well. And then I just clutter up the side with more bottles, which perhaps could be like oil or other kind of like salad dressing, or you know, that kind of thing. And I guess I also put the baby sippy cup there as well. I thought was quite cute. And I guess maybe you could look at this and say like, well, she's getting ready to make dinner for the toddler, and maybe she's about to like puree the vegetables, and I put some more sauces on there and just really made it feel as realistic as I could. I really love this corner in the kitchen. I think it's just really sweet, and like if you're playing this game and you're documenting your gameplay and you're using screenshots to tell a story or something, maybe this would just make a really cool backdrop. And I feel like when I'm reading a Sims story, like I like looking at the furnishing of the backdrop of the images, because I feel like that really makes the story come alive to me. So this was like my idea or my reasoning for going in the kitchen and really cluttering it up. I did use the tool mod quite a bit in this build, and actually what's really interesting is I'm using the tool mod in build mode, because I went ahead and I downloaded Twisted Mexie's unreleased Patreon version of the tool mod, where you can now access it from build mode directly rather than having to go into live edit mode. And it's a bit tricky when you're first using it. Like, as someone who is quite used to using it in live mode, it's quite different. So to access the tool mod from build mode, you have to first press Shift and T, and that will then let you enter the tool mod mode. And from there you can scale objects up or down, you can move them up and down, you can rotate them, and all the normal stuff you can do with the tool mod usually. And the really handy thing about it is that you can still select multiple objects while still in build mode, and you can do, like, it's so much easier to just quickly go in and change stuff rather than having to come out and grab a sim, especially if you're doing community lots where you can't always have a sim on the lot if you're decorating or building. So this is like really handy if you don't have a sim that's on the lot with you, so you can now access it directly. And I believe this update will be available to everyone in a couple of weeks, but like I said, I just couldn't wait. And also, any chance I can take to give back to the modding community, like, I'm gonna do it, because they work so hard and like they don't have to do this kind of stuff, and I just felt like it was a perfect opportunity for me to give my appreciation to Twisted Mexi for being such an amazing creator. And that's pretty much it now. We're coming up to the screenshots. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do remember to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!